Cocaine plane lands in quarantine. Protests over fatal police shooting. And building codes. What's a building code? I am Noriko Bulford, and welcome to tonight's edition of Uncut News. Before we begin, do you have something important you want to leak without revealing your identity? Send us a tip on WhatsApp on telephone number 592-659-6151. Folks, I've got another episode for you full of private and public sector crime of all levels, starting off with news from the ever-thriving drug trade. Yesterday afternoon, another cocaine plane had to make an emergency landing in the hinterland, this time near Oriela in Belize. According to the police, 2 Brazilian nationals are currently in police custody after the cops discovered just short of half a ton of cocaine aboard the aircraft. The 2 men are expected to be officially charged soon. Now, I've noticed this is the 3rd of such incidents in the past several months. Now, this makes me wonder just if these are the planes that didn't make it, I wonder how many planes actually do successfully make it. Close to a month after Sharon's Mall was burnt to a crisp, investigators have concluded what we probably all suspected. The fire was electrical in nature. It was discovered that a slack electrical socket inside the building sparked and ignited some combustible materials on the first floor. Oh, wow, surprising. The fire chief further noted that the owners of the building failed to have it outfitted with the requisite fire safety equipment legally mandated for high-rise buildings. Wow, oh so surprising. This allowed what would have been a small blaze to grow into an inferno powerful enough to injure 4 firefighters, destroy millions in property, and wipe out the life's work of dozens of small business owners. Now for a little public sector crime. 1 week after 45-year-old taxi driver Peter Headley was fatally shot in the back by a cop while in custody, his relatives picketed the Home Affairs Ministry calling for justice. In a story that sounds like the making of a Black Lives Matter protest, the cops shot Headley while in custody after accusing him and another man of having committed a robbery. Ben actually came outside to meet with the picketers and assured them that the matter is being thoroughly investigated. He then put the police commissioner on the phone with the family members to let them know that he means business. 2 officers involved in the matter are currently under close arrest. So, sounds like some progress is being made. This morning, Jagdeo announced that the state has reached settlements with 3 city businessmen concerning land sales under the previous coalition government. This came after months of promising to prosecute everybody and their mother. In fact, the owners of Car Care, Sivon's Waste Management, and Courtney Ben Construction were also facing charges along with Trevor Ben. But apparently, the state had a change of heart and decided to rein in the legal attack dogs. Without giving details of the settlement, Jagdeo said the government wanted to go after the politicians who actually made the deals and not the businessmen who were genuinely just doing business with the government, which honestly should have been the move in the first place instead of being all heavy-handed and throwing charges before you knew the whole situation. But, oh well, that seems to be the name of the game around here. Now it's time to tell you about Best Buy's car of the day. Currently on sale is this 2009 Toyota Axio. It comes with mag rims, new tires, DVD stereo, reverse camera, and much more. Buy cash for $2.7 million, or pay down as low as $540,000 down, with around $61,000 monthly for 4 years, and it is yours. Call or WhatsApp 662-0844 for more info, or visit their showrooms at Lot 171 Peterborough Street, Queenstown, or Lot 2 Lamar Street, and tell them Noriko sent you for this sweet deal. 4 more persons, including 2 GRA clerks, faced conspiracy charges in relation to the $19 million check fraud scam. Leroy Green, Ivor Dowridge, Randy Gladstone, and Tuquan Clark were each slapped with 2 conspiracy to commit a felony charges. The charges accuse them of being part of the scheme, connecting them with 2 forged checks, one for $9.8 million and another for $9.5 million. Green, Dowridge, and Clark were granted $600,000 bail each, while Gladstone was remanded to prison since he's already before the court on a similar charge. Earlier this week, 4 others were charged in connection with the same case. On Wednesday, police arrested GGMC prosecutor Sharon Crondon for bribery during a sting operation in Georgetown. The operation was set up after a gold miner complained to the police that the prosecutor was soliciting a $300,000 bribe from him after the GGMC charged the miner with illegal mining in 2019. Apparently, the bribe was to make the charges disappear. Sherwin admitted to police that he was prosecuting an active matter against the gold miner, but when asked about the money, he claimed that he was only borrowing it from the man and not extorting him. However, the cops were left unimpressed by the story. Auntie Priya says all schools will remain closed until the month of September. Schools have been closed since last March, but in November, they did restart classes for grades 10 through 11 to allow students to prepare for their CXAs. But based on current vaccination rate, they expect enough of the population to be vaccinated in time for the new school year in September. Well, yes, people, I know that wasn't a crime story, but frankly, it is a crime that these children are still running the streets and not running to class, if you ask me. Are you a truck owner that's losing money due to downtime while you wait for your parts to be imported? Now that's just stupid. Truck parts are already in Guyana at Powered Automotive Truck Spares and Engine Parts. They stock spares for DAF, Bedford TM, International Freightliners, and Cummins engines. Check them out at 1161 EE Eccles or WhatsApp them on telephone number 697-0171. Tell them Mariko sent you and get a discount. It's now time for today's Rona Report. Today, the nation recorded 160 new cases. There are now 351 persons dead, 18 persons in the ICU, and 1,876 persons in home isolation. The total number of confirmed cases around the nation now stands at 15,903. So please, people, wash your hands frequently. Avoid touching your nose and mouth and mask up before you leave the house. When you do leave home, try to avoid enclosed spaces and large crowds. And remember to give 6 feet of space between you and others. Port Kaituma resident Keith Rodney faced the courts today, charged with giving the police false information. He pleaded not guilty and was released on $40,000 bail. The matter was adjourned to August 10th for commencement of trial. Do you want to grow your money? Sell Digicel Top-Up. Become a top-up vendor through Cellular Plus and make some extra cash to supplement your income at your business or your side hustle. Call 685-3109 for more info. After spending 5 years in prison on a murder charge, 29-year-old Howard Ramburrows, known as Spleen, was freed by the High Court on Friday. Ramburrows was on trial with his co-accused Jermaine Jefford, known as Smokey, for the August 2016 murder of Orwin David. The court upheld the no-case submission in favor of Ramburrows. However, Smokey wasn't so lucky. His trial is expected to continue. And now for our stupid news of the day. The owners of Sharon Mall are just the latest in a series of big businessmen who refuse to follow simple building codes. Sharon Mall, Desinco Trading, Saatchi Building. The list goes on. Building after building keeps going up in flames in Georgetown, and yet not one of these so-called businessmen couldn't have enough sense to see just how necessary building codes are to modern life. Sure, you can say, but Noriko, they're big businessmen. They are insured. Well, I'm absolutely sure they are. But while the owner's bread will still be buttered, what about the employees who now have no job to return to? What about the suppliers who have now lost a major customer, or even customers, like in the case of Sharon Mall? Or what about the people who are injured in these fires, again like Sharon Mall? Or what about the fact that they are such an eyesore to the city? Literally, like half the time, these burnt-out buildings are just left there to rot because the owners don't even care enough to do anything with the space, but are too greedy to donate it to the state or, to actually do something of good use with it. I could go on and on, but the thing I hope you get from all of this is that, if you ask me, the government allowing big businessmen to continuously disregard the city's building codes without punishment is pretty stupid. Hey Guyanese business people, are you looking for a great way to advertise your business? Search no more. Join one of the fastest growing business directories in Guyana. Register your business on snap.gy and get access to more eyeballs. And wait for the best part, it's absolutely free. Get your business listed today on snap.gy. Moving on to our Uncut News Viewers Poll question of the day. Every day we pose a question about current events in the nation, the region, the diaspora, and how you feel it relates to us. So, you give your responses in the comments, and we'll read the best ones in the following episode. Yesterday's question was, should the Ministry of Health offer incentives to encourage people to take the Rona vaccine? Leah Cole said, yes, offer scholarships, or raffle a car, or cash prizes. Incentives work. Whoa, Leah, just based off of that, I want you as Minister of Health. I want that car. 10-4 said, the Ministry of Health shouldn't offer any incentives to take the COVID-19 vaccine. It's our health, not theirs. Well, that's a good point. And finally, Jay Jairam said, the government needs to do everything it can to get people vaccinated. Offering incentives should be allowed. So for tonight's question, should companies face some sort of charge or penalty when a reasonably preventable fire occurs on their premises? Key phrase there is reasonably preventable. Think about that question and tell us in the comments below. If your response is good enough, we just might feature it in our next episode. Anyway, that's all the time we have for tonight. Check us out Monday for another. Until then, I'm Noriko Bulford saying, have a great weekend. And remember, don't drink and drive, or you'll end up on Monday's episode the hard way. Ha-ha! Good night, folks. Hey, Uncut News viewers, thanks for watching. You can subscribe by clicking on this button over here, or click over there for more news. You can also drop a comment to let me know if you've made it to the end of the video. Goodbye for now.